Caanan explains the king ordered every noble to build a canal in their towns, but only her family is going behind schedule. She says she can give anything to Kenichi for his help, even her body, which Kenichi immediately refuses to accept. So Caanan says she knows Kenichi is a mage, and she can give him a grimoire called High Protection. Hearing this, Niyamina becomes surprised and reveals that High Protection teaches defensive magic that can defend the user even from dragon's breath. Kenichi thinks it would be good for Anemone and agrees to help her. Then he drives everyone to the construction site, where Caanan introduces Kenichi to their construction contractor. Eventually, they also meet Mire's 3 friends, who reveal they have used all the money they received from defeating Shaga and now come here to earn more. However, they soon ran into a problem. That is the price of the tools, like the axe provided by their contractor. He makes all kinds of excuses for this price, but when Kenichi pulls out his axe, which is 10 times cheaper than his, the contractor makes Caanan remember that he is from Thogarum's company, making Kenichi realize that Thogarum must have handled their dirty work. Still, they decide to use Kenichi's tool, and to speed up the construction process, Kenichi also uses his excavator, which requires tons of fuel. At night, he treats Caanan to his food and wine, but then finds that the other worker doesn't go to eat at the tavern every night because of their extremely high prices. As such, Primura decides to distribute their food to the workers at a much cheaper price, and her idea once again booms. Meanwhile, Caanan orders Kenichi to enter the bathhouse with her, where she makes all kinds of advances on him, even going as far as telling him her emotional backstory that lacks love and care, but Kenichi refuses her every time by saying he has a family. Later, as the construction continues, Caanan insists on helping distribute the food and other chores. While everyone eats, the tavern owner comes along with the contractor merchant and realizes this is the reason no one came to eat at her place, but she ends up returning quietly after finding that Primura is Mallow's daughter. That night, the girls become jealous of Caanan, as she doesn't give up on any chance to seduce Kenichi. So Kenichi also takes advantage of her being drunk and has her sign a contract that says she won't go against or make any advances on him, shocking her so much. Soon, the canal is finished, and Kenichi demonstrates his powers to the stunt court during the opening ceremony on Caanan's insistence. Primura reveals that the person who is pulling the horse carriage of that court member is the ex-nobleman who hired Shaga to kidnap her. Later, Caanan's husband visits their place and thanks Kenichi and Primura for their help. However, then Kenichi finds that he also shares the same interest as him and wants to make his own picture books. After he teaches him the process of book production, they move to the topic of Thogaram, with Caanan and her husband revealing their family doesn't have enough money to own an army, so they can't force Thogaram and his thugs to leave. As such, Caanan wants Kenichi to drive away Thogaram, and it is not a favor, it's a friend's request. Kenichi agrees to it and returns home with his family, along with the grimoire Caanan promised. In the end, Anemone gets jealous when Primura wins at rock, paper, scissors and wins the right to bathe with Kenichi.